Okay, hello guys and welcome to another play along video. This is the 11th play along in this series, and also this is one that I'm pre-recording because I'll be visiting my home. Um, this time I'm we'll be switching back to no moving games. Last week we did a NMPZ episode, but I wanted to do something that's a little bit different. So instead of playing world maps, we're going to play like continent specific maps, or like, well, not exactly continent, but yeah, like pretty much continent specific maps. And that way I think it might help a bit to get better at those continents themselves. So not all continents have a good map to play, but there are three maps that I have identified that are pretty well known and pretty standard for like studying continents. First one will be Europe. So we'll start off with an arbitrary Europe, which is a pretty standard map. There's a world record category for this on Plunkett as well. So yeah, it's like 80,000 locations. Very good map. Let's get into this challenge. We'll be playing it no moving. All three games will be no moving. Now, if you're not familiar with how play alongs work, there'll be three challenge links for the three games we play in the description, and you can go ahead and play the challenge first, and then you could come back and watch my perspective, and that way hopefully you can get some tips from my gameplay because I'll explain my thought process. And yeah, of course, if you have any tips for me, you can let me know in the comments as well. That way we both get to learn, we both get to improve at the game. So that being said, first challenge, here we go. Link is in the description. Hopefully you've gone ahead and played that, and let me now go ahead and play it on my end. So yeah, hopefully you finish playing your game at this point. Let's see what we have. So, first of all, we are in Sweden, and the way you can tell that is one, because of these like short dashed road lines on the side of the road. I guess is how you say that, because in Norway, for example, you have longer dashes on the side of the road, so you can eliminate Norway here. Now, Estonia does have similar looking dashes, but the way you can tell Estonia is tell that this is not Estonia, I guess, is mainly because of this car. I'd say this Google car right here is found in Sweden. As far as I know, in Europe, it's only found in Sweden and no other country. But maybe there's some country that's escaping my head. But at least in the Nordics and Baltics and all of that, if you take those into account, then Sweden will be the only place that'll have this car. Um, and then when you combine it with these short dashes, then you know that you're in Sweden. Also, the bollards. These are bollards that you find. Well, you find these in a few countries actually, so I wouldn't focus too much on the bollards here. So this car here is usually found in southern Sweden. I think like this area in general is more common for to find the car. So I'll just go somewhere here and hope for the best. Let's see. That is good enough. Now keep in mind that just because this is a Europe map, you'll get lesser points than you would on a world map because yeah, like on a world map, if I made this guess, I'd probably get like 44, 4500, I guess. But because all the locations are concentrated within Europe, then you get like a smaller range of points. So don't worry if you get a lower score. That's my point. All right, and again, I think we are in Sweden. Okay, we are getting a diverse Sweden map, or an arbitrary Sweden map. But yeah, again, we have these like small dashed lines on the side of the road. They have a bit of a different design here, I guess, but it should be Sweden nonetheless. And yeah, I guess you also have a Gen 4 camera, which makes sense for Sweden. Doesn't really look like Estonia. And also this pattern of these road lines, I don't think you see in Estonia. I think this is probably only in Sweden. And then yeah, you also have like a bunch of birch trees here, and yeah, just a sort of like northern vibe. These are typical Swedish bollards, I'd say. But well, you have pretty much the same bollards in Estonia, so I guess that doesn't help. But yeah. Oh, also these backup signs. I think these are more common in Sweden than. I don't even know if you get these kind of backup signs in Estonia. But yeah, that should put us in Sweden again. I'd say this time it's a little bit more northern, feels slightly more north. Let's go here. Okay, it is a bit more north, and I keep 4k points again. And we move to the next round. Here you can notice that you have a yellow back plate and a white front plate. You can also see that the steering wheel is on the right side, which means we are driving on the left side of the road, even though the car is parked on the right. But yeah, we should be driving left, and with yellow back plates, that puts us pretty much in UK because Ireland will have white back plates, not yellow. The architecture, very, very typical for UK as well. Um, yeah, like these kind of brick buildings and tiled roofs, very, very normal. Also, this yellow sticker, I think this is. We also have some English here, I guess, but yeah, that yellow sticker is usually, I'd say, found in UK and Ireland. What else? We have this pole with these things sticking out. That's also found in UK and Ireland. So yeah, bunch of hints pointing us towards that area. These hedges, hedgerows, very common there as well. So all that being said, we should be in UK. Now the thing is, I see that there's danger of death on top, and then there's also something in probably a different language. This doesn't look like English, but my problem is that I'm not good at these languages, so I don't know if this is Welsh or if this is Scottish. But the YGL at the end makes me want to say that this might be Welsh because Welsh has like a lot of weird like letter combinations. Um, oh, there was something with AE, carefully. We have AE here, so maybe that's just Welsh then. Scottish, I don't know. Yeah, I think this might just be Wales. Let's look around a bit. Does the landscape fit Wales? Yeah, landscape fits Wales. Yeah, I guess we'll try out Wales. Let's see. My language knowledge is not that good, but hey, we made it. It was Wales indeed. It was in Newtown. Okay, cool. That's a decent score. Let's keep on going. Alright, this is a harder round. So let's see if we can get this. My initial thought here is Slovenia, and there are three reasons, or maybe four reasons for that. First one being the architecture. Um, this kind of architecture, like if you look at this house, or those houses there, I'd say are very common in Slovenia. Um, other second reason is like these hills, these mountains. Slovenia has a lot, like all of like bunch of these like forested hills, so that would add up. Third would be this narrow road. Slovenia has a ton of narrow roads that go into like forests and whatnot. So that could be one more reason. And these pine trees on the hills as well. I forgot to mention that. Those are common in Slovenia. And lastly, this like fall coverage kind of. I don't know if this is exactly fall coverage, but you see a bit of yellow, you know. That's I'd say that's not uncommon in Slovenia as well. So no like specific like concrete clues telling me that's Slovenia, but bunch of things pointing towards Slovenia, if that makes sense. So I can't really think of what else this would be. Like maybe Austria, maybe Croatia, but I really don't see this being Croatia with these roads. This look very typical Slovenian. Yeah, I think Slovenia is my best guess. So let's try it out. Let's see. And it is indeed Slovenia. Nice. Let's keep on going. Ooh, highway round. I really, really dislike highway rounds, if you know me. But this one doesn't look that bad. This should be Belgium, and there's a few ways you can tell this. First of all, well, we're driving on the right. That helps. It's very flat. And yeah, like if it's so flat like this, then you can already think of Netherlands, Belgium, France, Denmark, those kind of areas. It feels like Western Europe, right? It doesn't feel like Eastern Europe. So that, then you also have this bollard here. This is a Belgian bollard. It looks very similar to the Danish bollard sometimes, but yeah, I guess if you've seen both of them a few times, then you'll know that the difference. But the main hint here, I think, is this red on the plate. Belgium has number plates with red text on them, so when they're blurred out, they look a bit reddish. And here you can clearly see red text on the plate. These houses here also look very like Dutch, Belgian kind of, so that adds more credibility to it. And here is a road number saying A18, so let's see if we can find that. It's probably another name for one of the E roads now. So this is A14, for example. This is A10. Which one is A18 then? A21, A1, A3, A15. Come on. Show me the A18. A26? No. Somewhere here maybe. A17. A18, there it is. And then there's a like overhead bridge or something there. Let's see if we can get a good guess on this. Could be fairly close. Actually, something like this might work because there's a overhead bridge here. Let's just go there. It is indeed there. Nice. All right, so that's good. 22,474 on an arbitrary Europe to start off. Let's go. Um, so that was pretty fun. Hopefully you got something from that, and if not, hopefully you have some tips from me as well. Let's go on to an arbitrary. Well, I was going to play originally an arbitrary Latin America. Well, South America, I mean, but now they've made another map called Arbitrary Latin America, so I think I prefer playing this because it's also got like Mexico and the Central American countries, so should be fun. It says best played NCNC to avoid car meta, but since we are learning, I think it's fine to keep everything on. But yeah, this is a map that's also used in like world record streaks and whatnot, you know. So let's see how we do. So again, challenge link will be in the description. Hopefully at this point in the video you've finished playing the challenge and now you're here to watch my perspective. So let's go. All right, we're starting off, I would say, in probably Brazil. And the way I would say this is Brazil is mainly because of the red soil, because in South America, like the most amount of red soil you'll see is in Brazil. Um, the car makes sense for this. It's just like a white car that's kind of faded out. Like in Bolivia, Peru, and Chile, you get a white car, but it's like very prominently visible. You know, here it's like translucent. There it's like opaque, I guess. So this car makes sense for Brazil. Also makes sense for like Mexico, but the sun is also in the north, I would say. So we can kind of rule out Mexico here. So I think we should be in Brazil. Now, where in Brazil do we go? I'm not too sure. Looks like there's a bit of farmland here and a few hills. So I'm thinking maybe Sao Paulo, Rio, Minas, one of these areas. But I wouldn't be surprised if this was like further south, you know? Rio Grande do Sul, Parana even maybe. I don't see any Parana pines, so yeah, let's try this. Let's see. I'll go like out here. Oh, it was further south. It was closer to the Argentina panhandle, and we were in Santa Catarina. Makes sense, makes sense. So yeah, well done if you got closer. Let's keep on going. Okay, this is just Dominican Republic. There is car meta, but you can just ignore the car here. Well, if you want to learn the car, then if you see this white front and roof racks, then it's going to be Dominican Republic. But even if you ignore that, there's a very, very useful pole to learn here. This is a classic Dominican Republic pole. It's like concrete cuboidal pole. You can see it very from very close by here, and often it's got like a lamp post attached to it as well. So yeah, if you see this pole, this is Dominican Republic. It also says Dom AR. I don't know if that means something. Domar, maybe not. Um, But yeah, you see this pole again here and here. It's just a typical Dominican Republic pole. So we should be in a Dominican Republic now. In Dominican Republic, there are only two cities that are covered: Santiago and Santo Domingo. And like Santo Domingo is like super flat, I'd say. So if you even think that it's slightly hilly, I think it's good to go Santiago. But this one, I can't really say if this is hilly or not. Like we're on a slope, but I don't know if this is hilly enough. I don't know. I'll go for Santiago. But Santo Domingo also has like a lot of palm trees and whatnot, so I don't know. Might be Santo Domingo this time. It was okay. Well, bit of a slope there, not really hilly, but yeah. Okay, I got it wrong, but it's not a big deal. Okay, this time we're in Colombia. I'm sure a lot of you recognize the Colombian cross by now if you've been watching the play-alongs. We've had it a bunch of times. But yeah, if you haven't, then this is the Colombian cross. You see a cross on the back of the sign that is very, very typical in Colombia. And then you also have this little stubby antenna on the car, which you can get in Mexico, Ecuador, Colombia, and Brazil. Um, but yeah, with the cross on the back of the sign, this has to be Colombia. I think this also looks like a black car, maybe. It's kind of blurred, but might be a black car. So if you have black car with antenna, then it's also always going to be Colombia. Um, Now here we are in a very, very green part, and to the west we see some hills or mountains. So there are like three, I'd say, different green parts, green and flat parts in Colombia. One is the area like east of the Andes, so like all of this, east of this mountain range. Second is up here. But the further north you go, the drier it gets. But like in this area, it's pretty flat. And then there's some valleys in between. So here it's flat, here it's flat. So these are like three flat areas. But here in this location, you can see like we have big mountains to the west and nothing anywhere else. And it kind of looks Amazonian, you know, like the Amazon rainforest. So I'd say this time we are probably east of the Andes somewhere. I'm not sure which road this is, but yeah, let's just try something. It was east of the Andes, just on the wrong road. It was further north, but nice. I'll take that. Let's keep on moving. Oh, this is a this is an interesting round. This should be Brazil again, but like this is a classic Brazilian pole. It's not clearly visible, but it has indents on it. You can see it's slightly. There's an indent here and here. Um, this is a better view of it, I guess. It has like tiny holes on the top and then it has like indents at the bottom. This is a typical Brazilian pole. If you've seen it, then you recognize it. This car blur is a bit weird, but if you have a Brazilian pole, then you don't need to worry about anything else. Again, we have the red soil that I was talking about. Brazil has a lot of red soil. And then these kind of houses with like red roofs are very, very common in Brazil as well. So we should be in Brazil. It's kind of dry, and then like the northeast part of Brazil is pretty dry. And with these kind of mountains, I almost want to go like Bahia, like somewhere out here maybe. But there's also some mountains like here, I think. So maybe it's even further northeast. I don't know. But then we do have some like bunch of trees. You know, it's not like super arid. I don't know. I'll try Bahia, but it could be further north, I think. Oh, or further south. Okay, I did not expect this to be down there. Like I would have, I don't think I ever guessed there on this round. That's a learning moment for me. Southern Minas from this. Wow. I guess these trees are more southern. That makes sense, but like everything else just looks so northeast to me. Okay, well, something new for me to learn as well. And here we are in the final round. This is probably the hardest round we've had so far. I don't really know which country we're in to start off as well. Well, let's see. We're starting off with this stubby antenna, so already I can narrow it down to Mexico, Colombia, Ecuador, and Brazil. So that helps a bit. The sun looks like it's maybe in the south, which makes me think that we might be in Mexico here. Um, because I can't think of where in Colombia, Ecuador, or Brazil this would look like, you know? Because it's not like super red soil like you would get in Brazil. And then Colombia, Ecuador are like super green, let's say. And this feels like this vegetation feels almost similar to like Spanish or Italian vegetation, you know, and that makes sense for Mexico. Like these, I don't know what trees these are, but these trees are very common, I'd say, in like Mexico and stuff. And yeah, I can't really put in my brain like I can't place where this would be in Ecuador or Colombia in my head, you know. So I guess the only option left is really Mexico, and I don't really know where in Mexico this would be. It's not super dry, but it's slightly dry, I guess. Maybe like out here. Let's see. Yeah, that's good enough. I'll take that. So that the Brazil rounds kind of got me, I guess, but outside of that, it was pretty nice. Round one isn't that bad or that surprising, but round four was quite interesting. All right, so that's game two. South America done, and or like Latin America done. And for the third game, we'll move on to Asia. Apparently, there's a map called an Arbitrary Asia, which I had no idea existed until like a few minutes ago. But hey, this looks like a good map, 50,000 locations and a bunch of Asian countries. So let's see. Let's see how this works. So again, challenge link will be in the description. Hopefully you've finished playing it by the time you're watching my perspective. And let's go ahead and start. Okay, so we're starting off in Kyrgyzstan, and there are a bunch of ways to tell this. First of all, you have this car meta. This is a typical Kyrgyzstan car. But if you don't want to use that, then there is still very easy to tell it's the Kyrgyzstan because firstly, if you see, like if you squint your eyes, maybe you can see better, but there's a little bit of like a red strip on the left of this plate. So it's barely visible, but it's there. So in Kyrgyzstan, you'll have number plates with a red strip on the left. So that points you towards Kyrgyzstan. But even if you ignore that, the biggest hint here is literally just these mountains. These mountains are very typical of Kyrgyzstan, like snow-capped mountains, very like, I don't know, just very beautiful mountains, really. Very typical for Kyrgyzstan. And then you also have these trees. These like long, tall trees are super common in Kyrgyzstan. So if you see these trees and these mountains, it's almost guaranteed to be Kyrgyzstan. Like you don't even have to look at anything else. But uh, if you still want more clues, then you have poles. These are like Russian-like poles. You know, Russia has these kind of poles as well. Concrete poles with like I don't know, concrete cylindrical poles. Um, pretty common in wait, did I say cylindrical? I don't know. Concrete like square poles is what I meant. Very common in Russia as well as Kyrgyzstan. So bunch of hints for Kyrgyzstan now. What road is this? Is what I'm trying to think of. Because we have mountains both north and south, and this is interesting. I'm not sure where in Kyrgyzstan this could be actually. Let's see. This area has mountains north and south, but they are further apart. What about like Narin maybe? No, but I don't think these mountains are that big. Um, Interesting. I'm not sure where to guess here. 'Cause, maybe something like this. I don't know how big these mountains are. I don't think they're that big, but maybe. But the road's also going like, you know, northwest, southeast. So I really don't know what this is. Unless it's like here somewhere, maybe. That angle doesn't fit, but yeah, I'm not really sure where to guess here. Kazarman. maybe something like this with those mountains and this. I don't know. I really don't know. I'll try that. No, it was there. Oh, it was just that road. Okay. I thought those mountains were way closer to us than they looked then. Okay, never mind. I was wrong. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense then. You have mountains north and south in this area. Zoomed in at the beginning there, but nice. Right, this time it looks like we're in Southeast Asia just based on the vegetation. Um, Now, if you look at this plate, it's got black. It's a black number plate with two blocks of white text on it. So that is a typical Malaysian plate. In Indonesia, you'll also get a black plate, but it'll have three different blocks of white text. This time we only have two. So that way you know that you are in Malaysia. Let's look around a bit more. Yeah, I don't know. This pole looks to me to maybe be like a. So Malaysia has two parts, right? It has this mainland, and then you have some Borneo, Malaysia here. So this looks like Borneo, Malaysia to me because on mainland Malaysia you'll have a pole with like a black sticker on it, and we don't see that anywhere. Of course, it's possible that there's just none of those in sight, but yeah, I think this should just be Borneo, Malaysia then because we don't have that pole. This maybe could be like a Borneo pole, I'm not sure. Um, and then yeah, I don't know. These like mountains also kind of make sense. Bunch of palm trees. Yeah, I don't know. It's probably just Borneo, Malaysia somewhere. Let's go Sarawak. Okay, it is Sabah, but it is on Borneo, on the Borneo part of Malaysia at least. So Sabah and Sarawak are like two states that are on this part. So wrong state, but at least we get the correct part of Malaysia. This should be Japan. Like I'm sure everyone can recognize Japan by this point. You have a Japanese language. You have a like driving on the left. You have a low camera. You can see a slightly wider blur around the Google car. That's how you tell it's a low camera. And then you have like these box-like cars, very typical for Japan. Yellow plates on these box cars as well. Also these poles, yellow and black vertical stripes. Yeah, bunch of hints for Japan. Classic Japanese architecture as well. Typical Japanese roofs. Um, Now where in Japan? Let's see what this says. Kashihara Sports Club. Shibutani and Co. Container Bank. This could probably mean something. The thing with me is that I am not too well versed with Japanese meta. So some of you probably know this. This sticker on this pole might mean something. And then, yeah, I don't know. Maybe the power pole itself helps because sometimes it has like the logo of the power company on it, and I think that helps. But Yamato Container Village, huh? Kashihara. Okay, I'll give it a quick scan, but I don't think I've necessarily heard of a place called Kashihara. Yamato, I think I've heard of. That's a place somewhere, so maybe I'll just guess there if I don't find Kashihara. That being said, I don't even remember where Yamato was. But let's see. Yukata, Nikaho, Miyako. No, no, I don't see that. So where was Yamato? I forgot that. Huh, would help if I knew my places. But well, if I don't find it in like this scan, then I'll just guess because I don't want to scan for ages. But there are probably like hints here that tell you exactly where you are that I just don't know how to recognize. So if you have tips for this round for me, then you can let me know in the comments as well. Um, yeah, this is taking too long. I might just guess. Okay, I don't see it. Okay, whatever. I'm just gonna guess like somewhere near Osaka, I guess. Oh, ah, that's Kashihara. Okay, it is next to Osaka somehow. Um, okay, now I know. I guess Kashihara is not the biggest city, but fairly decently sized city in Nara. Okay, cool. Let's go next round. Okay, this time we are in South Korea. A few ways to tell. This time we also have yellow and black stripes on the pole, but they are a diagonal and they don't go to the bottom. So in Japan, you also had similar stripes, but they were vertical, and in South Korea, they are a diagonal. And in Taiwan, you'll also have diagonal stripes, but they'll go all the way to the bottom of the pole. So that way, you know just based on the pole that we are in Korea. Secondly, you have a bit of language here. This like a language with circles in it, very Korean language. Um, you'll also see, excuse me, you'll also see some like green plates in Korea, so that that can also help. It's another one. And then these street signs, these are very typical South Korean street signs where it's like blue and then it's got like this unique shape, like an arrow. But yeah, that also helps you in recognizing South Korea. And then we have a sign here. Can I read what that says? Oh my god, it's so hard to read. 3042, though I can read that, and probably 18. I don't know what the others say, but let's see if we can quickly find that. It's 25 here. 30, 42, 18. Let's see if one of those show up real quick. And make my guess based on that. There's 17 and 19. 30, 42 and 18 is what I'm looking for. So, come on, surely one of those shows up. Can't take this long. It's 14 here. Man, none of these road numbers want to show up. There's 31 here. 30, 42, 18 is what I'm looking for. Interesting. I don't seem to see any of those. 42 is here. Okay. So where does this 42 go? Here? That's 31. Man, where's 30 and 18? I don't get it. That says 42 to the east. So maybe we're in like Wonju or something. It looks like a big city. But surprisingly, there's a 42 here, so maybe. I don't know. I don't see the rest of them. 19? Ah, I see 19. Okay, I'll just go there. Maybe I'm wrong. Oh, there's also 42 going here. Icheon. Yongin. Oh, this goes on for a long time, actually. Okay, well, I don't think I need to spend too much time. It's probably somewhere. Well, it's definitely somewhere, but oh, it goes all the way to ancient 42. Okay, well, since I don't see the others, then let's just look around a bit, right? We have some mountains like northwest. Maybe I'll just go ancient actually. Ah, whatever. I don't know. Yeah, that's close enough. Oh, it was the 39, maybe it wasn't the 40, it wasn't 30. That makes sense. Okay, close enough. 4973. Let's keep on going. And oh, we've collected the what is it like the three? Oh, I forgot the phrase. Whatever. We've collected all three of them though. We had Japan, we had South Korea, and here you have the Taiwanese stripes now. Black and yellow diagonal stripes going all the way to the bottom. That's what I was saying. This time we are in Taiwan. Just based on that, you can tell. Also, it's not uncommon to see like red lines on the outside in Taiwan. Also, a bit of Mandarin on this, so that can help. And yeah, should be in Yosemite bus. We should be in Taiwan nonetheless, and there's probably some hints in Mandarin that tell you exactly where we are, but I don't know that, so I'm just going to click in the flat part of Taiwan. And let's see, it is in the flat part of Taiwan further north. So I'll take that. We ended up with 2889, which is a decent score. So nice, well done if you also got a good score, and if not, then hopefully you got some tips from this game. So that's going to be it for this play along. This was a bit of a different one, but I think it was still pretty fun. So let me know in the comments if you like this, and if you'd maybe even like to play some like country play alongs. I don't know. That could be fun, right? Like if you play like a Canada map or an Australia map, something like that. Maybe, we'll see. But anyway, thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. So, yeah, hope you have a nice day, nice week, and yeah, see ya.